How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Armchair Analysis here on the channel. Hope you guys are having a good start to your week, a good Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. We had a lot of awesome events in sports. The Masters closed out with an incredible, dramatic finish. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about baseball, of course, uh, the entire weekend around the league. Some of my best favorite performances from the weekend. We're going to talk about what everybody needs to do in the NHL to put themselves in the playoffs, at least those still competing for those final wild card spots. And then, of course, at the end, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, and really it's going to be me plugging tomorrow's video, which I can go ahead and do right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys a full casuals guide to the NBA playoffs. Super excited to do that. The casuals guide to the NBA regular season that we did on the Loudmouth Sports channel worked really well. So we're gonna give that another shot here. Again, kind of taking a casual approach to the NBA playoffs. I'm super excited for it. I thought it was really well received the first time around. Again, looking forward to doing that again. Taking a look around the MLB though, and man, what a great weekend it was. Not so much for me. We're not going to talk about what happened over in the South Side. The White Sox took 2 out of 3 over Boston, but Boston game 3 Sunday. Trevor Story drives in all 3 runs, and the Sox get their first win. And what was a dominant performance from Garrett Crochet. Fantastic return to Chicago. Gave up 1 earned run, was on the hook for that 1 earned off of his only hit of the ball game in 7 1/3 innings pitched. Had 11 strikeouts, I do believe. I'm not looking at the stats right now, but I'm trying to remember this all off my head. 11 strikeouts and 1 walk. A great performance from Garrett Crochet. Super proud of him and the effort from the Sox on Sunday. Again, I'm a fan, but super happy to see what happened there. The Guardians take 2 out of 3 over the Kansas City Royals over the weekend. Toronto and Baltimore only play 2 games. Their Friday games rescheduled for later this season in July, I believe. They both split their 2 game set. Detroit, the Tigers, taking 2 out of 3 over Minnesota. Houston takes 2 out of 3 over the Angels. And then the Seattle Mariners sweep the Texas Rangers this weekend. That's your AL side. Your National League. The Arizona Diamondbacks take 2 out of 3 over Milwaukee. Cincinnati sweeps Pittsburgh, along with San Diego sweeping Colorado. The Miami Marlins take 2 out of 3 over Washington. The St. Louis Cardinals take 2 out of 3 over the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Chicago Cubs. Sunday Night Baseball was fantastic, and the Cubs take a 4-2 win. The Cubs also hung 16 on the Dodgers in Saturday's huge win for themselves, as the Cubs again take 2 out of 3 over the Dodgers out in LA. In terms of interleague matchups, the San Francisco Giants take 2 out of 3 over the New York Yankees in the Bronx. The New York Mets take 2 out of 3 over the Athletics, the homeless Athletics. And the Tampa Bay Rays take 2 out of 3 over the Atlanta Braves. Some other interesting storylines and cool little stats. I put 3 together. I put 3 stats that I really liked, or 3 stat lines that I really like from each series. I'm going to do this kind of Monday, Thursday type of thing, where I come in and talk about all the series that have happened, and kind of what I've liked, what I didn't like through all of them. And to be completely honest with you, I am really digging the pitching that happened this weekend. I talked about Garrett Crochet already. Cole Reagans was fantastic. He struck out 10, which put him at the time in the league lead for strikeouts. I want to take a look at some of that stuff closer to the end of the month, some of the league leaders and stats at the end of the month of April. But Cole Reagans, an early guy, a guy that a lot of people like, maybe for a Cy Young award. I know my buddy BJ over at Immaculate Inning, really high on Cole Reagans this year and that Kansas City Royals entire starting rotation. And then Hunter Green. Hunter Green's coming back from injury, has not necessarily been the most healthy in his career, but he had an exciting performance on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Pirates. really, really just happy to see him come back. I think he struck out 7. Just overall, a very, very solid performance. And 3 guys I'm excited to see more of as the season goes on. The MLB weekend it never fails. We never walk away disappointed, and it happened once again. So I'm super pumped. Team of the weekend though, I mean it's got to be the Cubs, right? Hanging 16 and then coming out the next night on Sunday, and closing down the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball to take 2 out of 3. That would have to be my team of the weekend. But I'd be remiss to not make mention of the Seattle Mariners coming out and closing down, sweeping the Texas Rangers as well. A team from each league there, so we're not just hanging NL or AL on this show. We'll close out. Well, we'll close out with NHL. We'll talk about the Masters yesterday, and because to be honest, I only watched Sunday. I only had the opportunity, the availability to watch a little bit of Sunday, and I got to watch the end really of the Masters at most. And look, I'm a big golf fan, I guess. Not a big golf fan. I'm a casual fan of golf. I like to watch the Sunday, the final round of most of these tournaments. And Rory McIlroy is a guy who I've always been fascinated with. He's obviously one of the best in the game, or at one time was one of the best in the game. Has yet to win himself the Masters, has been close, been very close before. Wasn't able to get it done, and I just thought that it was really solid that it was him and Justin Rose going for it. Justin Rose was really close too, lost to, who was it, Sergio Ramos, is it? I don't think that's the right name. But what I do know is that Justin Rose lost in 2017 in a playoff, which was ironically the last playoff in Masters history, or the most recent playoff in Masters history. But Rory McIlroy goes out and gets the win in the Masters in the playoff. They teed off from hole 18, where Rory was unfortunate enough to lose out on winning in regulation. He missed the par putt that would have won it for him. Able to get redemption, close it out, win, and he has now achieved a career Grand Slam, which means he's won every single major golf tournament there is to win, which is awesome. The next golf tournament I'm going to be paying attention to, and it's because I do every year, it's the Memorial Tournament from Murrayfield Village. That is my home tournament, like my hometown tournament, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Always am, and it puts on a great show, of course. So that'll be the next golf content you see on here, unless it's me talking about my terrible attempts, which are coming this summer. I am going to be hitting the course a time or two this year, seeing how that goes. I will certainly keep everybody updated because I'm sure you care about my 5 handicap or whatever they call it. I don't know. But anyways, moving on before I embarrass myself further. Let's talk about NHL for a minute. The playoff push is in full effect, and when I say full effect, that means everybody's got 3 games or less to go, and this is the final week of the NHL season. We look at the Eastern Conference, and it's the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Montreal Canadiens. Those are the 2 teams battling for the final wildcard spot. The Montreal Canadiens play the Chicago Blackhawks tonight, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Montreal wins, and they are in the playoffs. It kills the hopes of the Blue Jackets. But the Blue Jackets, if they can win out, they have 3 games left. They must win out. And with 2 huge wins, a 7-0 and a 4-1 win over the Washington Capitals in the last 2 games, the Blue Jackets are certainly in contention to go ahead and win out and make the playoffs for the first time since, I want to say, 2020. I believe that to be correct. I'm Obviously, as a Blue Jackets fan, I'm super pumped for this week, but I'm also extremely nervous. I don't know what to expect, and I honestly don't know that we will come out of this alive. But what I do know is that there is a chance, and that's all you can ask for at this point, given all of the tragedy that struck this team before the season started with Johnny Gaudreau. And I'm just super, super excited. I hope to see my Jackets in the playoffs. But if not, it was a great season, a hell of an effort, and Dean Evison deserves all the credit in the world to even have this team in this position, focused enough to get an opportunity. And we will see where it ends up by the time the season's over. But super happy and looking forward to the end of this year and moving forward to next season, how the team builds and progresses and what they look like when they come back out on the ice at Nationwide Arena. As for the Western Conference, you have 3 teams battling for both wildcard spots. That's Minnesota, the Wild. The St. Louis Blues and the Calgary Flames are all fighting for those final 2 spots. And the one thing I can tell you right now is that if Minnesota wins on Tuesday, they are in the playoffs. I don't know the tiebreaker for St. Louis and Calgary. What I know is that they can tie for the final playoff spot, and that would be a mess. I don't know the scenario for it. I have to do a little more digging, but hard to say. We could walk away from this with not even needing it. So we'll see where that ends up. But the playoff race is fantastic. The wild card spots. I mean, you play 82 games and it comes down to 1 week, and in some cases just one game. That's what it's all about. It's what sports are all about. I mean, we talked about the Rory McIlroy, finally getting over the hump, winning and being a Masters champion, having the green jacket. You talk about the NHL playoff push. You talk about the Blue Jackets having what's been a dream season, given everything that's happened in the past and in the last year, and they're still out here fighting for a chance, and again, that's all you can ask for. As for the other news for the day is the NBA playoffs kick off on Tuesday, tip off on Tuesday, and that's with the play-in tournament. We're going to predict the play-in tournament on Tuesday, tomorrow. We're going to predict the NBA playoffs tomorrow. And we're just going to periodically update as we go throughout the weeks. Kind of just a weekly update, maybe a round-by-round update. And see what we get. I haven't fully decided what I want this channel to look like and how I want the content to be produced. I'm kind of just doing it as I see fit and as I see a necessity for maybe a topic to be talked about. Or maybe just as I see fit for what would a sports fan want to see or want to hear about? And I have plenty of those types of topics as well. To be honest with you, I've been working really hard, researching a lot, and even watching and reading a lot. I have a book review coming for you guys here, hopefully by the end of the month, but hopefully within the next week or two. I'm really excited for that because I've been working on this book for a while. Haven't given myself the motivation necessary to finish it. I am going to get this book done, and I am going to get you guys a review on the book Why We Love Baseball. I have plenty of books, actually. I don't have plenty of books. I have a handful of books that you see back here behind me, to include the College Football Encyclopedia that came out in like 2005. That's that big book on the left side if you're looking at your screen. No, I'm not going to read and give you a review on that, but if you're interested in that book, it does exist, and it's awesome. I go and check it out. I'll read a page or two here or there, read a team profile or something like that. But I got plenty of books over there. As a matter of fact, enough that I can probably make a handful of reviews. I got a couple preseason magazines over there, the Athlon Sports magazines that I always use when doing college football previews, all kinds of stuff over there. So yeah, we'll get into all those and talk about that. But yeah, I got a book review, surprisingly. Yes, I can read. Not well, but I can read. Um, and then, yeah, we have NIL transfer portal conversation to have. I'm working on that right now. Actually, that video is going to come out later this week, and I'm really excited because I think that there's so many directions I could take that video and make that video into, and maybe it does come down to being a 2 or 3 part set, of videos. But the the point is to kind of talk about how NIL and transfer portal have changed the game both for better and for worse. And I know with recent news like Nico Iamaleava completely being, I guess, dismissed from the team at Tennessee after his little holdout fiasco that he bestowed upon the university. Um, it's a first of its kind issue, and so I'm taking a look at the transfer portal since 2021 in both football and basketball. I'm doing as best I can. College basketball, the transfer portal is a little bit harder to keep up with and get my numbers on. But I'm working hard. I'm trying to find them. This video will be out later this week discussing the transfer portal and how it's changed the game. And then another video that will be dropping at some point in the next week or two. I'm currently in the midst of watching the Boston Red Sox documentary that dropped on Netflix like 2 weeks ago. I'm a little behind. Relax. It's okay. It is fine. We will get there. And once I finish that, which will likely be quicker than the book, I will be going ahead and reviewing that docuseries. Look, I'm not a critic by any means, and I don't plan to be, actually. I really just want to sit back, watch it, take in the information I can, and enjoy it as a Red Sox fan, but as a baseball fan in general. And I think that that's something that's super important, is to be able to see these behind the scenes, see this behind the scenes footage and get to make our opinions on players. I mean, I've certainly learned more about Tristan Casas and his interesting rituals than I thought I ever would. And that's what these are about. These are about finding the personalities on the rosters and finding the guys who you kind of make the team what it is. And that doesn't just go for the Red Sox. That's why Hard Knocks is so successful. And it's just really cool to see that be a thing on the MLB side of things. So I'm excited to continue reading through that, watching through that. I'm excited to continue reading through this book. And just excited to get through everything else. So yeah, I do want to close the show. I would be remiss to not mention the absolutely tragic situation that's unfolded over the last couple of months. Kyron Lacey was found dead the other night following a police chase with, I believe, Houston police. Again, this is kind of on a whim, so I apologize. I don't have anything pulled up for this, but he was found dead. It was ruled an apparent suicide, which leads me to, if you need help, please reach out and get help. There are more ways for your life to go than to come to an end, and there's always somebody out there willing to listen, and there are resources for you if you are feeling like if you're having any thoughts of wanting to harm yourself or anybody else. Please dial 988 and speak with somebody who can get you the resources that you need. If you are a veteran in need, the Veteran Crisis Line, 988, press 1, and they will take you to more catered services for veterans. Both of these causes are super important to me, and I really do say, if you need help, get help, ask for help. It's okay. Don't get caught in this toxic lifestyle of trying to be the hero for everybody else, or trying to be the hero because you feel like you need to be, because some days it just can't happen. I've been there. I get it. I think everybody in life has been there. And it's just super important to make sure you take care of yourself up here, physically, all of those things. So please do that. But unfortunately, the news was that Kyron Lacy was found dead on Saturday, and this comes a couple months after his incident, his hit and run incident, which left a man dead, a 76-year-old man dead. Earlier, he was set to be to have his court hearing today, Monday, April 14th, which obviously is not going to happen, and it's just a really tough scene. We talk plenty about people who are gone too soon, and when it's somebody my age or younger, and in this case, Kyron Lacy and I are the same age. As a matter of fact, I'm just a few months older than him. That's a tough pill to swallow, and it's tough to hear and think about. So my thoughts are with his family, with anybody who's affected in one way or another by this. My thoughts are with you, and hoping for the best. And again, if you need help, please reach out and get help. Super important to do so. I will leave you on a good note, a happier note. I do have a birthday coming up, and this is not me telling you when my birthday is. That's not what we're doing here. And if I find anybody trying to, may God have mercy on your soul. No, but in all seriousness, I do have a birthday coming up, and I just want to shout out to my family, my mom and my grandma specifically, for sending me the couple gifts early. It wasn't intentional, but the Red Sox hat you see right, I'll find it here, right there. Brand new, just got that, and then just sent me a home Red Sox jersey. I have a road jersey that I just got a few weeks ago, and ended up with this. So I'm pretty happy and thankful. And I'd be remiss to not give both of those amazing women in my life a shout out as well for everything they've done for me. So super thrilled actually to be doing this again and having maybe a direction for this channel to go. I've been kind of long wondering what I would do and how, and I don't know what it's going to look like. Again, I don't have a solid idea of a schedule or anything. I'm not really planning to put a schedule out there. I'm just kind of gonna do what I can and see where this goes. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to this incessant rambling for the last probably 7 or 8 minutes. It's not time filler, I promise. It's just these are all honest thoughts that come to my mind, and I don't script anything. This is all real. So I do thank everybody for tuning in and being a part of this. And if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. All of which are free. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. That's what the comment section's for. And if you have a thought, whether it's an agreement or disagreement, or somebody you'd like to shout out from this weekend's events and sports, I almost forgot, and I this actually is a must shout out. Western Michigan, congratulations on your first ever hockey national championship. They made their first appearance in the Frozen Four this season, this winter, this weekend. We're able to get 2 incredible wins, and they did it in dominating fashion on Saturday to capture, again, their first ever national championship in men's ice hockey. So congratulations to the Broncos of Western Michigan, and again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a casuals guide to the NBA playoffs.